Good Thursday morning. Welcome into the Morning Roast. Tyler Krusz here with Brian Sullivan and Marqus Cesar. The roast presented by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience and Greenway Equipment Sales, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth because nothing runs like a Deere. Gentlemen, lost for the Red Sox last night, but still on this heater as we head to the end of the season. Big Yankees series coming in on Friday. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. Nice day off. Coming for the Sox today. Interested to see what happens, who comes, who goes, all that stuff. Another boring Sox game last night. The offense not there, but boring in the way that they lose it. But I'm doing okay. How about you, Marcus?
Just a disappointing loss. Not a whole lot happened. Caleb Durbin tried to get some going, but I don't really know what to make of it. Right, I can't remember exactly what your question was yesterday, Sully, but are the games boring? Yeah.
They play tight, close games. This team is built to get a lead and turn it over to the bullpen, right? That's where the strength of this team leads. Like on an off day with everybody available to them, if they can shoot out to just get a one run lead, that's how this team is built, right? Like I think of this. I go back to that. I think it was like the 16 Royals team. I don't even remember that. They won it with a really elite bullpen.
It was like Royals Mets or something like that in the World Series, and those two teams haven't been good since. Yeah,
there's a blueprint for their success. They just got to get a little bit of offense, and I think it comes tomorrow, right? I think Roman Anthony comes back, and that's probably the best addition that you can get to this team. And who knows what they do with Trevor Story. He had another bad night last night at Worcester. Still seems like he's searching for something that we don't know if he'll ever find. So that's an interesting decision, what they do with him. But Roman Anthony's definitely back tomorrow and probably atop this lineup. So that's a little influx of offense. But all in all, you take 2 out of 3 on the road from the Marlins. And now, on the radio call there, you get ready for the biggest series of the season with with playoff seeding, playoff positioning in place, and also it's your biggest rival.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yeah, the other day I was having a barbecue and just the small burgers, and I dropped one and I was like, oh, slider in the dirt, and then I looked up and Trevor Story had just showed up at my apartment.
Yeah, swinging at it, tried to catch it, missed it. Huh? Yeah. That's where it's at. But okay, off day today gives us a chance to reset, maybe talk a little football, get ready for Red Sox Yankees. We got Mark Shields from MDI football coach going to join us, and we got Tyler's tickets. We got Larry Mahoney. So we got a bunch of stuff going on here, Tyler. Why don't you give us a couple reads, get some headlines and highlights.
All right, we will do some headlines and highlights. First, I want to tell you about Bangor Mall Cinemas, Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinemas features luxury recliners and an upgraded food menu. Find showtimes and reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. The Morning Roast is brought to you by Heroes Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. Heroes, it's the official sports grill of the roast and the place to be in downtown Bangor and at heroesportsgrill.com. Cue it up, Marcus.
Okay, so you run through this thing. Sox lost to the Marlins last night. Grand total of 5 hits, 2 from Caleb Durbin. Sonny Gray talking about his outing. Yeah, he just didn't quite have the stuff last night.
Yeah, still only gave up 2 earned runs, but not able to really go deep into the game and walked a guy, 7 hits, was getting hit around. There was a lot of talk about holding him for Friday. The Yankees delayed Schlittler's start. He was supposed to go yesterday night, but he's going to pitch on Friday in Game 1 against the Red Sox now. Would you have done that with Sonny Gray? Obviously, given you could put the past blinders on and say, well, if he's going to give up 7 hits, I'd rather do that against the Marlins than the Yankees. But interesting to see them not hold him out for that Game 1 when the Yankees were.
Do you know off the top of your head who comes up for the Sox tomorrow night? I can look it up right now, but do you know? Off the
top of my head, no. Is it Bennett? No, Bennett pitch Sunday.
It is, I'll tell you right now, it's Patrick Sandoval against Cam Schlittler. No, yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, let's just go with you got a 4-game series, Yep. So everybody's going to get a chance to go. And
except Sonny Gray.
It's
the most important series of the year, and everybody's going to get a chance to go except your best guy.
Okay, yeah. Well, based on how it went last night, I guess, in hindsight, that would make sense. Chad Tracy decided not to. Here's what he had to say about, guys coming back here, number 2. I had the wrong one there. Number 3 here is he's talking about the health. And then an interesting one, he was asked if the players get a say in the lineup. So go ahead. Give us number 4. Chad Tracy asked if the players get a say in the lineup. Okay, interesting. And now, so now give me number 3, Marcus. Some of the decisions that are coming their way.
What can you realistically expect? What should we expect from Roman Anthony in this Yankee series? He's not facing Worcester pitching anymore, not Portland pitching anymore. He's going up there facing Cam Schlittler and the New York Yankees. What can we, what can we expect? Are we allowed to be upset if he underperforms? Like, where's the line? Where's the basis for underperform?
It's a great question. What should we expect? What do you expect? I mean, I think he's a guy that's got pop. He played 5 games in the minor leagues and hit 2 home runs. I guess over the course of a 4-game series, if he's in the lineup 3 times, I expect you on base. Yeah. I expect you to be somebody who helps. I guess that's what I want. I don't need you to go 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and a double. I'd like it, but I need you to be someone who impacts the game. I think that's what you need, right?
If you had 16 at-bats, you can't be like 3 for 16 or something like that in this first series.
And if you are 3 for 16, if you get 16 at-bats, walk 4 times and go 3 for 13 and, make an impact. Have a sac fly, have an impact on the team, be somebody that the opposition has to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Like lengthen the lineup. That's what I think he adds. And don't be, value subtract. Just be something more than what we're getting right now. I don't want to set my expectations too high, but at the same time, I'd like to see him pop one out of Yankee Stadium tomorrow night.
I want to see him in a clutch moment. Like, I feel like that's what we're all going to expect there. It's like the clutch moment Roman Anthony home run, like the Devers versus Chapman back in 2018. But, like 3 for 15, that's what you said we should expect out of Jarren Duran every night. You'd reduce that. That's 1 for 5.
It's true. I know. So, I want more than that. I want more than that. You have to figure it's, Yankee Stadium. He's
big weekend.
It's the best pitcher the Yankees have. Guy throws smoke tomorrow night. It's going to be fun to see. But, if he's the leadoff hitter in the top half of the first inning and Cam Schlittler thinks he's going to put one down there 98 miles per hour right down Main Street, I'd like to see our guy send it up to Broadway. You know what I mean? So it'll be fun to see what he does and how he reacts to those lights being so bright. Well, we got to take a quick commercial break. Tyler, you want to pay some bills for us?
Yeah, we'll talk to you about your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor and Wilson Street in Brewer. Extra value meals with extra value when using your McD app in August. Get a classic Big Mac or Filet-O-Fish extra value meal for only $8 when using the app. And Uno Pizzeria and Grill, they have late-night deals every night in the bar or lounge, 9 p.m. to close. $6 apps, $5 cheeseburger, $5 Indy cheese, or pepperoni deep dish at 725 Stillwater Ave in Bangor.
Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Tyler's Tickets. Got to do some reads and pay the bills and then give us some tickets.
All right, so UMaine Athletics this fall. It's time to pack the stands at Alphon Stadium and cheer on Maine football season. Maine football season tickets are on sale now and give you the best value and best seats for every home game. Visit goblackbears.com/tickets and connect to the Ticket social media channels, 92.9 The Ticket on Facebook, 92.9 The Ticket on Instagram, sports.net.maine on TikTok, and our YouTube page, Sportsnet Maine. If you ever get tired of just hearing us, just log on to those and you can see what our faces look like for real. So I'm going to start with a ticket for the New England Patriots, and I said I'm going to do this every week until Christian Gonzalez gets signed. I'm going to do it once again. I don't want to hear them talk about what they're offering him because it's probably not all guaranteed. They've got deferred money. They've got the incentives in season that he's got to make. Like whenever they say we offered him this much, there's always like 4 asterisks next to it. And once again, Elliot Wolf and Robert Kraft out in front of the media talking about the Christian Gonzalez contract situation. Christian Gonzalez was kind of very, he actually said that he was frustrated about the fact that he had not been signed yet. But I think the worst part for this, and it's the optics, I don't know if he really did this on purpose, but Gonzalez is getting ready to talk to the media about his contract and has to pause his press availability because of the Kraft Copper landing behind the practice field over there at Gillette Stadium in Patriot Place. Just landed his helicopter in the middle of his star players' interviews, interrupting them while you're already frustrating him based on your, balkiness at the deal. I've heard that it's really the guaranteed money right now. Watson, it's the year one money, and it's also what's guaranteed. I think Witherspoon was guaranteed $101 million, and Watson wants a little bit more than that. Or Gonzalez wants a little bit more than that, and this is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see if the Patriots balk or not. You've seen reports that they're getting a little bit closer to a deal. I believe Courtney Cox from WEEI was one that said it's been signed, but she also said Swayman had been signed 2 months before that happened. So I don't trust that. But there's been a little bit of rumblings that they're getting closer. I really think this is a guy that you don't want to play around with. You've had a great offseason in terms of your general management there in New England, right? You went out and you said, we've got the most valuable contract in sports. We've got a really good quarterback on his rookie deal. Let's go out and buy. So they went out, they brought A.J. Brown in. They brought Romeo Doubs in. They upgraded his wide receiver room significantly, which was a great move in the offseason. They also went out and we talked about this yesterday. They did right by Kayshon Boutte, and he posted something on social media thanking them for that and thanking them for sending him somewhere he wanted to be. Both of those things look really good if you're a free agent that wants to win and you want to come play for the Patriots. But I think this Gonzo thing can erase all of that if they let him walk and they head into a season with a disgruntled superstar, a legitimate superstar that you drafted and developed and chose not to pay and chose to just let walk next year. And it's going to look even worse if you play franchise tag games with him and try and keep him around for a couple of years without extending him. If you guys are close, that means he's not asking for anything crazy, which means, in my opinion, I think you should sign Christian Gonzalez.
I think that after this preseason game coming up this weekend, I think they'll have an off day, and then I think you'll get back to work preparation for the Seattle Seahawks on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. If it doesn't happen by then I think it's okay. Maybe this isn't going to happen. Then take it a step further and think about September 9th when the NFL season opens and you are on NBC and 100 million people are watching, and you'll be playing the Seahawks, and they will have just signed Devin Witherspoon and to the highest paid contract. And then you've got the potential of Christian Gonzalez on the other side of the field with Collinsworth and who's he called the game with on NBC? Tirico?
On NBC, it's Tirico, yeah.
Wondering aloud of why didn't this get done? Why is he not playing? Why is he sitting out? It's a bad look. It would be something that I would think the Crafts would be very aware of and would not want that to be the narrative. So I'm going to give you that I expect by Tuesday he's signed and he's the highest paid cornerback in the NFL.
Is Tuesday like the third day of this training camp cycle that you've expected him to be signed? But I feel like we've had this exact conversation before.
But it's gone this long. But I just think that's I heard Greg Bedard talking about this yesterday. He went back through some of the other contract negotiations that he just kind of pointed to the fact that Seattle prep starts early next week. The preseason business gets put to bed. At the end, after this game, you kind of recap the game that was, you make some decisions about the roster, and you finalize some stuff. So maybe they dragged their feet. They made this a lot slower than it needed to be. But at the end of the day, if it does, and then the other part of it that he also said was a possibility is maybe they just give him more money this year to make him happy, and then they trade him next year. And that's the other part of this, is that maybe they don't see him as the kind of guy they want to have around here in 5 years because, I don't know, Vrabel didn't draft him. He's maybe he's a cover corner. He's not a guy that's like to stick his nose in there. But also, I watched the Super Bowl same as you did, and there's a reason that everybody kind of to a person said, yeah, if that guy across the field, Witherspoon, is worth this much money, so's your guy. So yeah. I just think next couple of days post, and maybe even before, but I think if it doesn't get put to bed in the next couple of days here by early next week, then yeah, maybe it doesn't, and maybe this is the last year for Christian Gonzalez, because I don't think you want to go into that opening game with question marks or him potentially, making business decisions and being on the PUP list or having a hammy because he couldn't go because he got to protect himself. So it just, I just think it would be embarrassing if he went onto the field through all this and didn't have some sort of a resolution.
And if he doesn't sign, you're not bad, right? It's not the Mac Jones years where the main story at training camp is why can't the offense figure it out? Your defense is fine. Your offense is good. This is the main story. You're not bad enough to be a story. Your main story right now surrounding the New England Patriots is the Christian Gonzalez contract. You go to week one. And even before Collinsworth and Tirico get on, they're going to be doing pregame storylines. Number one, Christian Gonzalez contract. It's just, I really think it's something that needs to get prioritized. We'll stay with football here, and I'll go with, I'm going to give a ticket to whoever made this decision in Cleveland to go with Deshaun Watson, a quarterback who hasn't been healthy or effective in 5.5 years, is now your quarterback one. And not only has he not been healthy and effective in 5.5 years, your home fans can't stand him. They cheered when he got hurt. They booed him when he came out in the preseason this past year. You're going to bring him out, and you're the Browns, right? You're not going to be very good this year. You're going to bring him out on the opener, and maybe it's because they have two road games first before they come home, so they're hoping that Watson can play decent and turn the fans back on his side before he comes out in Cleveland. But you're the Browns. Like, you're not going to be good. You'll be 1-1 at best after 2 games, probably 0-2, and your home fans are going to boo the crap out of you. And it's because of this decision you made. You went out and drafted 2 quarterbacks last year and a running back, and you're going to roll with Deshaun Watson.
I think that from a franchise standpoint, and now Carl from Seal Cove, if you want to weigh in on, we're talking Browns is your window. I think that, yeah, he's by all accounts pretty bad dude, and you gave up a ton for him. You paid him a bunch of money. But if you're thinking about a football standpoint, you've got a guy who is under a big contract and is a veteran. You can't really go to Shedeur Sanders and then bench Shedeur and turn it over to Watson. You almost have to see what you got in Watson, even if it's nothing. And then you can just maybe cut him loose and then turn it over to the young guys and let them go in a year that you're probably knowing what you are and what you aren't and hoping to lose football games and have a chance to draft Arch Manning or the kid from Oregon or whoever will come there, because ultimately what we've seen in the NFL, and we talked about this before the show, is you're really nothing until you get a quarterback.
Yeah.
There are some organizations that are so well put together, and I don't even know. Name me some teams. I was thinking that the Tomlin Steelers survived in a quarterback
limbo.
Yeah.
But they treaded water, like they were 500,
but you weren't embarrassing.
Yeah.
But you weren't embarrassing,
exactly.
Right? And so I think that until you get a quarterback, you're nothing. And so I understand it. I mean, like, obviously, I don't think anybody's aligning with Watson when the ESPN headline says, "I'm sorry I ripped the fans," as he's named the starter. It's like, okay, yeah, this is not how you foster a great relationship between your team. But I guess I understand it. Can you see that line of thinking? Like, veteran, been in the league 10 years, been banged up, hasn't been good for a couple years. We paid him almost $250 million. Let's let him go week one. If it doesn't go well, we can then turn it over to the kids.
Yeah, and then you can go in free agency and figure out what you got. Call up Joe Flacco again or somebody like that. Yeah, I get it, especially if you're paying him, and then I don't know if they're going to cut him loose. Like, are they going to try and find a trade part? That's a lot of money on the books. That was the highest guaranteed contract in NFL history when he signed it. They got rid of Baker Mayfield to bring him in. Like, we forget how bad that decision was.
It might be, we'd have to go through one of the worst transactions of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of some guys. I saw a couple of stats of, like, I don't know, Washington Nationals signed like Steven Strasburg and Anthony Rendon, and they end up missing like 70% of their games. They paid him about $500 million or something like that. So there's some other instances of it, but yeah, he's pretty darn bad. All right, let's do a quick commercial break. We got a bunch more stuff to get to as we roll along here.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Toshi's Checkout and Convenience. Hey, Bigfoot fans, Toshi's Checkout is calling all Sasquatch seekers to the 2nd annual Glenburn Sasquatch Calling Contest. That's Saturday, August 29th. That is this weekend from 1 to 5 at 1492 Pushaw Road in Glenburn. There's a $100 cash prize. Compete for legendary bragging rights, and it's free to enter. Bring your crew, bring your call, and we'll see you at Toshi's Checkout.
All right, welcome back to the morning roast. We put out the bat signal, and our man calls Carl from Seal Cove. Carl, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Good to hear from you. We were hitting on your favorite topic, the Cleveland Browns. What do you think about this decision to go with Watson? What are you hearing?
Well, they gave it was Monken's decision. They gave it to him in the back in April. They said, "You make the call who you want." They can't get rid of Deshaun Watson. They have to wait until March 3rd. He has a poison pill contract that nobody knows about, I guess. If he's on the roster on March 3rd, he has a guaranteed $200 million contract for next year. So they couldn't cut him. They couldn't trade him. They want to spread out the $127 million salary cap. So Watson goes nowhere. Munkin said Watson looked best in the training, and then in spring training, Shador looked really good, but he cannot get the team in and out of a huddle, and he cannot read a defense. He's looking better at it, but he can't do it. They do not want to start him. So Deshaun, like Tyler said, the 2 games are on the road. And Deshaun has to do something in those 2 days. If not, Shador will be playing that first game against Carolina.
Makes sense. Sure.
So,
got to figure out what you got in Watson. If not, then sit him on the bench and give him a clipboard.
Sit him on the bench. And the guy playing the second half tonight against the Patriots, Taylor Green, get a load of him. He's 6'6", runs the 40 in 4.3.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. You're high on him, huh?
Yeah, it might be some betting there on the second half of tonight's game.
Okay. Taylor Green. All right. Have to check that out. You got anything else for us, Carl? You always got the great insights. What are you hearing? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, I'm hearing a lot of, everybody's talking about the Circa survivor pool there. I was hoping you guys might get in it. You got your guy Marcus with connections in Vegas. So I'm hearing everybody likes the Raiders in that first game of the season in the Circa pool. So to beat the Dolphins.
How do you know Mendoza and I are cousins?
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm looking for tickets.
Yeah, there you go.
Me too.
Yeah, all right, that's good. Okay, yeah, I don't know. What's the buy-in on the Circa Survivor pool?
I don't know. This is my first time. I thought you were asking me.
Yeah. It's $1,000, and I've got a guys that I'm listening to out of Cleveland. There's 4 of them all in on it, and they're talking back and forth. And he's the guy who has some connections to the guys in De Blasio, and that's where I get a lot of my inside information. And the rumors are right now is that they're all leaning towards taking the Raiders. Circa is guaranteeing $20 million, and I heard it got down to 5 people at the end of last year, and that was in November I think there was 14 million people that got in on it.
Do you have to go to Circa in person to place the $1,000 wager?
You do have to have somebody in Vegas, and I believe Marcus said he had friends there, but there are companies now that are opening up, and you can just call them, and they'll have a runner for you.
Okay, good. There you go. Carl, always with your finger on the pulse of many worlds. We appreciate you. We look forward to hearing from you as the season goes along, and feel free to let us know whatever you're hearing or whatever you're thinking.
Okay, I shall. Talk to you later, boys.
All right, Carl from Seal Cove there. We'll stay down in that neck of the woods-ish. We're going to go with Mark Shields, head coach of the MDI football team, right after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Now joining us on the Heroes Hotline, MDI football coach Mark Shields. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great, Brian. How you doing?
Doing very well. Great to have you on here as we ramp up for another high school football season. How are things going down there on the island?
Yeah, they're going pretty well. We're pleasantly surprised by our numbers this year. We're at 35 as of today, and doing this 8-man thing for the last few years, we found that 30 is sort of the magic number to have, a full JV squad and a full varsity squad. So very pleased with that. The kids wrapped up 2-a-days yesterday, so our practice schedule is such in the preseason that we go 6 to 7:30 in the morning, and then we go 4:30 to 7 in the evening. We do that for a week and a half, and everybody was pleased that we didn't have to get out of bed and get up there at 6 o'clock this morning. So things are going well.
Yeah, that's a commitment right there. 6 to 7:30 with a bunch of 15 to 18-year-olds. Why do you like to get it out of the way so early like that?
So when I took over years ago from head coach Toogie McKay, he had that schedule, and I remember when I was first hired back in '96 at MDI, and I was his assistant, and I had the same question, but he had a great point. A lot of our kids, they work for seasonal, restaurants and whatnot, and so he discovered that if you go that early practice, it allows the kids to practice in the morning, and then they could go to their jobs during the day and then practice again in the evening. So I kept it, and honestly, like you said, I think it shows a commitment by the kids. If you're willing to show up at a lot of the kids will roll in at 5:30 in the morning. If they show that sort of commitment for a week and a half, I think that's a good thing.
I've been doing the show with Tyler for a couple years now. He gets here about 6:01, but
It's a long intro.
but he's an Ellsworth guy, so you can draw your own conclusions there.
Yeah, I married an Ellsworth girl, so I totally get it.
Yeah, on their own time. So talk to us a little bit about the kids coming back. What kind of turnover do you have?
Yeah, so we graduated a pretty strong senior class. Two guys in particular, Nate Olson, who now he's a preferred walk-on at UMaine, and Joey Bennett, another guy that he's a shot putter for UMaine this coming spring. So trying to replace them, especially in 8-man, where really you have 3 linemen, and we just graduated 2 all-conference kids on both sides of the ball. So our main focus in the off season was, really trying to develop our younger linemen, and then now this preseason doing the same. So that's still a work in progress. We have some decent skilled kids coming back. Kenneth Stillwell, he's going to be a junior. He had a big year for us last year. Lincoln Gray, he's a senior running back. He had a big year for us last year on both sides of the ball. So we're still trying to figure out our quarterback position. We have a guy named Asa Joyce. He's a junior, and he's a really strong running back, and we've been working him at quarterback as well with a few other people. So, offensively right now, as when anybody that knows football, offense usually takes a lot longer than defense to develop. So that's kind of where we're at. We went to Stearns on Monday, and Stearns, they're a very good program. It just came off a state championship, and they definitely looked like it. They were definitely ahead of us in their development. So we have Orono this Friday night, and we're hoping that we're going to play better up there.
What kind of benchmarks do you try to hit through from preseason game 1 to preseason game 2?
Yeah, that's a great question. After like our controlled scrimmage up to Stearns, which is nice, the coaches are right on the field with the kids, so it's really like a practice. And then obviously you break down that film by position. Each position coach will break down their kids, and then the staff will get together and we'll have conversations. But really right now it's just trying to get better every day. I know that's kind of cliche for a coach to say, but it really is true. Because we have so many young kids right now, we're trying to develop them, and we're trying to figure out, where each one fits. And that's still a work in progress. It's so early in the season that we're still shuffling kids around, but, we're hoping, by week 1, we had to Mount Ararat, week 1, at least at the varsity level, we will have solidified those positions, and hopefully those kids feel comfortable in those spots.
Coach, I know you're one of the larger 8-man schools out there, but bringing 35 kids in and just keeping momentum going when other programs might be struggling with numbers, what does that say about the job you guys have done and the culture that you guys have built?
Yeah, it's funny because, if you do this as long as I have, 30 years, it does go in waves. And like last year, our freshman class was small. And that, we were, slightly concerned, but I think it's all about your feeder program. We have some great people down that we call it our AYS youth system down there. And Tony McKim is a big part of that. He's been the head of that for years. So I think that consistency in the youth program, and we focus a lot on that. Like tonight, our practice is such that we'll practice from 3 to 5:30. Then we're going to do a barbecue with our AYS kids. They'll come up on the field. We'll do a barbecue with them, with our varsity kids. And then we have a field night. We'll take them out on the field, and we just do different things, make it fun for them. We do relay races, and we let the kids try to kick field goals. And, it's really a great night, something that we look forward to every year. We've been doing that a long time. So I think that focus on that youth program is the key.
And you get those kids chumming around with the kids they look up to, and eventually they say, okay, I want to play on this field one day. And eventually, when you get 35 kids out at a time when, like Tyler said, you're struggling for numbers, you see it start to bear fruit.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brian. So last night, when we met at the end of practice, the team, we talked exactly about that. I grew up in the Skowhegan system, and I remember being, a junior high kid looking up to the high school kids. And when you're that age, you kind of feel like they're professional athletes, So, we really talked about, let's make it fun for them. Just remember, they look to you guys as role models. So let's be that for them tonight.
I think it's an interesting spot for you guys too, because the whole world comes to visit where you guys live essentially over the course of 3 months, and you're a big story down there. So everybody that, deals with all that hustle and bustle of that time of year, you kind of cut through the noise, and on Friday night, people come watch you guys. So I think it's, I find you guys an interesting spot, and I'd say you probably have dealt with some of that stuff through the course of 30 years.
Yeah, no doubt. Coming from Skowhegan, kind of a football town, and I've always said that the towns that had the smokestacks, the mills, those were the football towns. But we've just tried to create a culture down here, and my whole philosophy, and I was bad at this when I was a younger coach, was I was so focused on the scoreboard and trying to win games, and we were all miserable. And once I changed my philosophy and just started focusing on the kids and their lives, things just got so much better for them and for me. And once you know it, all of a sudden we started winning football games. So for me, if I could, give any advice to younger coaches is, hey, we're all competitive. We all want to win. But, I tell my kids, I've told my kids in numerous big games, the most important thing tonight is not going to be that scoreboard. It's going to be you kids. And you'd be surprised how motivated the kids will be with a philosophy like that. So that I've just really focused on that probably the last 15 years, and we've done okay.
Who wins in a game? A team of mill worker kids versus fishermen's kids?
That's a good question. We've done okay. And we do have quite a few fishermen's kids on the team, and they're definitely hardworking kids. So I don't know. That question's up for debate, I suppose.
Yeah, the only thing about the fisherman kids is they drive to practice in a $100,000 Toyota Tundra or something like that. So a little different, but yeah, either way. Coach, great to chat with you, and can't wait to see you guys in action on against Mount Ararat. Good luck in that opener and the rest of the season, and hope to catch up down the road.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Mark Shields, head coach of the MDI football team. They open up their regular season against Mount Ararat on September 4th. Always great to chat with Mark, and guy who's been there for so long. That's the biggest thing around here in the state of Maine, and I think Mark, anybody would tell you, is if you want to have success, it's all about that youth program. And I don't think you can undersell the value of what they're going to do tonight to have the little kids on MDI hang out with the big kids and say, oh, that guy was nice to me. I want to go, have barbecue, and I want to play on this field someday. So I think to a person around here who's involved in any kind of high school sports, winning helps. Feeder program helps.
Yeah,
too.
You look at any good successful varsity program, and there's usually a feeder program right behind it.
There you go. What else we got going on here, Tyler?
Well, we've got, if you want to call and enter, the Red Sox Ticket Sweepstakes are still going on. We've got one game left to send you to. That is September 9th versus the Angels. 4 tickets for each game. Great seats as well. They'll be drawing this game on September 2nd on the drive. You can call to enter the Sox Ticket Sweepstakes when you hear the special cue to call 992-9029. All entries carry over throughout the sweepstakes. So if you've already talked to Marcus and put your name on the list, you don't have to call again. We'll be right back with This Day in History.
Happy birthday to Eric Bobo Correa. He's a percussionist, Beastie Boys, Cypress Hill. Quite the guy right there.
Yeah.
Let's get some jams through the years. 1859, first successful oil well drilled near Titusville, Pennsylvania by Edwin Drake. 1896, Britain defeats Zanzibar in a 38-minute war, the shortest recorded war in history.
Wow.
Zanzibar.
Where is that? I thought that was, it's where Billy Joel will be tonight, right?
Yeah, good one. Let's see, 65, Beatles spend an evening with Elvis at his Los Angeles home. That would have been fun to be a fly on the wall. Let's see, 2008, Barack Obama becomes the first African-American to be nominated by a major political party for president of the United States by the Democratic Party. 1869, the first international boat race is held on the River Thames. Oxford beat Harvard. Let's see, 1910, using 137,000 candle power arc lights, 2 amateur baseball teams play a night game at White Sox Park.
That's fun.
That is fun. Like by candlelight, too. Romantic. Let's see. In 1978, Cincinnati Reds' Joe Morgan is the first to hit 200 home runs and have 500 stolen bases. Let's see. Birthdays today. Aaron Paul, Breaking Bad. Jesse Pinkman was born. 1981. Patrick J. Adams from Suits which we're just saying, I'm not a suits guy, but there are some people who hold it in the highest of regards. Brianna Stewart, born this day, 94, and Franz Wagner from the Orlando Magic.
Was he the one that played for the Celtics, or was it his brother, Mo? They had one of the Wagners for like a couple months.
Did they?
Like a cup of coffee.
I only know him as Magic. Let's see. Holidays today. It's Lottery Day. Play responsibly. Just Because Day. It's Burger Day. Heck yeah.
Yeah, play the lottery and get a burger just because.
And Crab Soup Day.
I like a bisque, but it doesn't really go with my burger.
No, it doesn't. You could dip it. All right, 7 a.m. hour coming your way right after this. Don't go away.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome into the Morning Roast alongside Marqus Cesar and Brian Sullivan. I am Tyler Krusz. The Morning Roast brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith Brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth because nothing runs like a deer, and Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor, right next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. I do enjoy some Jamaican patties. Good morning, fellas. How we doing? A loss for the Red Sox last night, but a win of the series, and now you look ahead to probably the most important weekend of the regular season.
Yeah, I'm doing good. This is a fun day. It's a nice day to reset and see what kind of roster moves the Red Sox make, as like you just heard on the radio call, the biggest series of the season, biggest series for a long time for the Sox, 4 games against the Yankees, and Maine football opens up tonight. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm excited for Maine football to open up. Going to be producing the show tonight with Mark, so that'll be fun. First football game that I've done, so that'll be rad. I did want you guys' opinions because we've talked about it a couple times on the show. No more Pro Bowl. Like, it's just done. It's over with.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Did you watch anyway?
God, no.
Okay, so like I'm not missing anything.
Exactly. But I don't know. It's just, it feels weird that it's gone. It just feels weird that it's not something that we can just scoff at and be like, oh, why are we even doing this?
I think it was on the way out. You look at 2021, Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler. Granted, He didn't have a terrible rookie season, but Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler. Wasn't Shedeur a Pro Bowler last year too? Yeah. Sanders, wasn't he like a Pro Bowl fill-in? Yeah, it's on. It's done. It was done the minute you named Mac Jones to the Pro Bowl.
I go back. I think it really, around the time the guy who passed away got killed, the safety from Washington.
Sean Taylor?
Yeah, Sean Taylor killed the punter in the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl, yeah.
And they were just blew him up. And I think that was around the time. And also you had like the Robert Edwards injury where he blew out his knee playing like flag football on the sand. It's like, well, okay, maybe we should be more focused on longevity and our health and not play an extra football game for funsies, because do you see what Sean Taylor just did to Pat McAfee or whoever that was, the punter that was trying to run for it. So, yeah, it was on the way out. Baseball is really the only all-star game where the guys really seem to try anymore.
And you kind of have to. I think we brought this up before the baseball all-star game. Like, you're not going to, if you're a pitcher, you're not just going to start lobbing it down the middle and letting them hit you. And if you're a hitter, you're not going to strike out on purpose. There's no way, since it's not contact and action all the time, there's really no way to lollygag it like you can in basketball and in football.
Hockey probably would scoff at me saying that, because you have the 4 nations, and that's kind of an all-star for fun thing. But East versus West, does hockey, they don't even do that, do they?
I don't know.
I don't think that they do.
And
I don't watch enough hockey to know that.
Fair. And I don't know. I feel like there is kind of a difference between like an all-star game and an exhibition game, right? And that's kind of what the 4 nations feels like to me.
Yeah, it's for pride too, and so yeah, okay. But the Sox lose last night 4-0. Not much offense, and I think everybody's just kind of waiting for that update as they make the trek back. But we should do some headlines and highlights, and we'll hear from some of the guys last night.
All right, let's get to some headlines and highlights. First, I want to tell you about Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience, and your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor and Wilson Street in Brewer. For August, use your McDonald's app to plus up a great breakfast. You can get a hash brown for only $1, a breakfast snack for $1, only in the McD app. All right, Marcus, spin it.
All right, last night, Sonny Gray did not have his best stuff. It wasn't awful, but 4 runs too many for the Sox to overcome. They scored 0. Here's what he had to say about his outing. He just didn't have his best stuff. You could see from, he's like you said, couldn't get ahead in counts and falling behind. Let's see. Like we said, a bunch of big decisions to make today. Here's Chad Tracy, number 3, talking about how they'll handle things. What do you think Chad Tracy's role in all this is? Do you think he's managed his way into having a voice, or do you think Craig Breslow and his team are like, we're doing X, Y, and Z?
A voice is in what? Like the lineup card should be his. I don't think Craig Breslow's
in terms of the roster. Who
the
goes
roster,
up,
like
who comes
who's
up, who
getting
goes
called
down?
up. I still think it's going to be on Breslow. I think when it comes to these guys, Roman Anthony, Trevor Story, and IKF, I think they might have more of a voice than we think. I think when Roman Anthony is ready, he's going to be up there. And when Roman Anthony is ready, he's going to know he's ready. I don't know, because Trevor Story said, I want to be in the lineup by Friday, by whatever. And he just is not doing well. So if he is in the lineup by Friday, it's going to make me think that whoever is making that decision is making the wrong one. So I'll blame it on Breslow.
Tracy was asked if players get a say in the lineup. So yeah, Chad Tracy can say that, and Trevor Story can say, I want to play shortstop, and we'll see if Trevor Story
who's going to win.
Has any role in that. Another big story that's going out there is will they, won't they? What's going on with Christian Gonzalez? Still no contract. He was speaking to the media the other day. Robert Kraft landed a helicopter on his head. Here is Rich Keefe wondering why this isn't done yet.
It's a great point. It is a great point. And yeah, it is one of the last draft picks from Bill Belichick, and I don't want to say his name because they get him on the drive sometimes, so I don't want to, but there was a Boston Globe reporter that wrote a piece that basically just accused Vrabel of not liking any of Belichick's guys, and I thought it was just absolutely ridiculous. Who are Belichick's guys? Kendrick Bourne? Devontae Parker?
How many exist on this team?
Cole Strange. It's Gonzalez and it's Hunter Henry, right? And Pop Douglas, was he Max last year or was he Drake's first? I believe Max last. I don't know for sure on that one. But like those, who are Belichick's guys?
Yeah, they don't really exist.
Who's there to like?
Yeah. And Christian Gonzalez is just good.
Good. He is very good. Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick commercial break here. We're going to talk with Larry Mahoney. This on the morning before Maine football kicks off this evening. We'll talk with him about that as well. Got Tyler's tickets, a bunch more stuff to get to. But first, Tyler, you want to pay the bills?
Yes, I do. We will pay the bills by telling you about the Natural Lawn of America. If you want a greener, healthier lawn without harsh chemicals, Natural Lawn of America can help. Organic-based care and tick ranger protection. Call 721-0600 or naturallawn.com/Bangor-ME. Natural, healthier lawns. Stuck on the side of the road? Union Street Towing has you covered 24/7 statewide. From breakdowns to lockouts, we'll get you moving and fast. Call 942-4200. Driven to be there when you need them most. Morning Roast brought to you by Dean's Detailing, the leader in auto detailing for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good and feel good in a clean, shiny car. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. And Acadia Federal Credit Union's newest location is now open on Wilson Street in Brewer, serving Maine since 1963 with branches in Bangor, Brewer, and Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.com. Okay, I'm going to give a ticket here. We'll get back on the baseball diamond after talking about Christian Gonzalez and the Browns last week. I'm giving a ticket to Trevor Story. 3 strikeouts again last night, a couple of them way off the plate. And he still talks about New York being the goal. Coming up this weekend in New York is his goal. He actually said via Alex Spear that he's feeling good. He's on time with the barrel, just a touch off on squaring pitches. Some of the pitches he's striking out on are legitimately like in the left-handed batter's box, in the dirt. I made a joke last hour that I was grilling burgers and dropped a patty and said, slider in the dirt, and Trevor Story showed up at my apartment. And that's basically what he is. He's been down in Worcester for 10 days. He's got 0 extra base hits and 7 strikeouts. That was heading into last night when he went 0 for 4 with 3 more strikeouts. I don't think you can force yourself onto this team, Trevor Story. Not at this moment, not at this point, and not while you're playing like that in Worcester. I don't think those numbers are going to do anything for us. We already have Jaron Duran. We can't afford to have both of you in the lineup hitting 0. And it's just, they're good. Like, they're fine right now. Add Roman Anthony, get a little bit more pop, help the outfield out. You can give a couple people days off. You can rotate guys between DH. But I don't think Trevor Story should be shoehorning his way back with the Major League club right now. I think it's the last thing the Boston Red Sox need is a guy who feels like they owe him a chance while he's striking out on terrible pitches in Worcester.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot they find themselves in, but this is not Drew Bledsoe wanting his position back after Tom Brady did so well for the Patriots. I wouldn't say that these guys
they're not lighting it up.
Yeah, they're not like so. I mean, they've had moments. Every one of them you can point to. Monasterio was red hot, good hit. Sogard's had moments. Siegler, I mean, Chang's going to play some defense. He's not really in the mix anymore, but they've all done some really valuable things for the Sox. And I agree that Trevor Story is not, what he's done in the minor leagues is not warranted a return
at all
to the big league level. So it's really just the contract. And I guess you could say past performance, but by past performance, I really mean the 1 year that he had last year where he kind of fell off a cliff at the end. But yeah, I mean, he was good last year.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Franklin Arias better be good, man, because the worst two shortstops in the Red Sox organization this year were Trevor Story and Marcelo Meyer. And those were your two that you thought were going to be your starters up the middle, and they were three shortstops better than them on the Major League club this year. Between Siegler and Sogard, they both played a little bit of first or shortstop, and Monasterio being up the middle utility guy. Like those two guys were probably the worst shortstops that have seen time with the Major League club, Story and Meyer. And I think you've got to dance with who brung you, and these people got you where you are. These platoon role players that are playing over their heads and they're trading hot streaks. One of them's hot at any given time. At least one of them. They got you where you are. I'm fine with bringing Roman Anthony up because he's ripping the cover off the ball. If IKF, look at what IKF said. He's like, you can bring me up after September, whatever. I know it's getting crowded and you get a free roster spot there. Like I'll come up whenever the team needs me. Why can't that be Trevor Story's attitude?
Yeah, he wants to be back. He said the goal is to be back at some point in New York. You got a 4-game series with a bunch of people watching. What about just the fact that Trevor Story's got a little pop? Got the ability to, when he does hit the ball, knock it out of the ballpark. Is there a chance that
he can win you a game late in games? Yeah, I've heard this before about terrible hitters.
I'm old enough to remember a grand slam from Jaron Duran not too long ago. But yeah, it does seem like it's going to happen. And I guess the hard part for me is the decision, and I just can't wait to see the roster moves. It seems like Mickey Gasper is going to be the odd man out.
I think when you bring Roman up, it's going to be Roman for Gasper. I think that's what's going to make sense, which it stinks because he's hot right now, but he didn't get any hits last night, so it might be time to, you got what you needed from him. That 10-day stretch with 5 home runs, and he was one of the top 5 players ever over a 10-game stretch. You got exactly what you needed out of Mickey Gasper, and now that he's not ripping the cover off of every ball he sees, you can send him back down. And, maybe you'll bring him up for another week where he just rips the cover off the ball. But I think that's what Gasper's going to get you hot and cold, and after last night, he might be cold. I don't mind sending him back down.
I do want to talk a little football here real quick. I'm just going to throw this at you guys. There is some talk that the NFL is heart set on having a franchise abroad.
Yeah.
That they want to have a team out there somewhere else. I'm going to guess probably London first. But that eventually the goal is just to sort of be a global sport where they have a couple of different. How do you feel about the thought that there might be the London Big Bens are in the AFC East?
9 games a year where your team has to go, or someone's got to go play a road game in London. I get they're doing it and they're doing these international games, but it'll be really weird to have 31 teams in America and 1 team in London. It would make more sense to add it to like Mexico City. The Patriots have played there before, but Mexico City's like the bottom part of Mexico. I didn't know that when I looked that up on a map. It's like closer to Central America than it is to California. It's gonna be it's still a long flight, but just having guys go overseas and jet lag like once a week every year and you're gonna have an 18-game season. That's gonna be 9 games a year. What if there's a playoff game in London, and it's got to be at a weird time, and it's got to be they got to deal with the jet lag and the time zones and everything like that. I don't like that idea of having a full-time regular season NFL team stationed in London.
It does seem like it's coming, though. It's definitely going to happen.
If you want, make like an 8-team international league over there. You've got enough stadiums to play, like if you want to just do your own thing. But I don't think the NFL needs to add 1 team in London. It doesn't feel like it helps anybody's. Does it really help your bottom line? Like, you're spending a lot of money on flights to get out there. You're going to be spending a lot of money to.
I don't think.
The
the
NFL
airfare is going to preclude
flights are expensive, man.
Maybe for like me, you and Marcus to go, it's expensive. But like, I don't think that the airfare is going to preclude them from having the team. I mean, you're talking probably an influx of. Instantly something that's worth $10 to $15 billion just because it exists.
Yeah, someone's going to buy that team from you. Yeah. I just don't really. I don't see how it helps the overall product, adding a team in London. I don't. Like, put a team in Toronto.
It definitely doesn't help the product.
No.
It waters it down.
It waters it down. Put a team in Toronto. Put a team in, I don't know. Also, 32 is pretty good. You know, like,
Sure.
32 is a good number for a league. I don't think you need to go much higher than just 32 teams.
As you sit here this morning, just know that on August 27th, 2026, you're never going to get less of anything. You're never going to get less of anything ever. You're going to get more playoff games. You're going to get more regular season games. You're going to get more teams in the March Madness bracket. It's only going to get more.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to be watching the Nashville Crooners play in the NFC East, or
they've got a whole league for banana ball now.
Sure, right.
It's not just the Savannah Bananas.
You're never getting less. You know, the only thing that they're taking away is the Pro Bowl. Literally, that's like the only thing we're ever going to see less of. So you're only going to see more. Probably by the time we're all, dead and gone, there'll be 8 teams globally, and they'll have their own division. So it'll be something to behold.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick note. Like, I've seen stadium tours of like American football stadiums abroad in Europe. Like, there are leagues forming there by themselves. The NFL obviously wants to share that pie. They've got international fans. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw them, but like Cardinals guys in Germany, like, they loved Kyler Murray. Like, I kept seeing those guys pop up. So there is an appeal. And I'm with you. I don't know how much we need it, but I don't know. At the end of the day, growing the game isn't the worst thing in the world.
Oh, it's definitely happening. Sure.
It's not going to make my life worse.
Right.
It's just not going to make it better. I'm not going to,
and that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, you know what? Guess who? When you have a London game, a little 9:30 kickoff.
Oh, I love that.
Here to
a
eternity.
little brunch.
Immediately they
pretty
become
nice.
America's breakfast team. Like, wake up with whoever else. What's London's mascot going to be?
I don't know. The London
The Fog.
Red
I
Coats.
was thinking like fog cutters or something.
There you go. All right, back with more. We got a little Patriots thought about potential value bet to make, and Larry Mahoney from the Bangor Daily News. But first,
Yeah, like you said, we're always going to get more of anything, and I could use some more wings Jimmy style from Heroes Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. Heroes is the official sports grill of the roast in downtown Bangor and at heroesportsgrill.com. And Northeast Driving School has been the leader in driver training for over 57 years. Register today for driver's ed courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. Call 942-1769 or register at northeastdrivingschool.com. And in case you missed it last hour, we are still running these Red Sox Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. One more game to send you to September 9th versus the Angels. We're giving away 4 tickets for that one, and those will be drawn September 2nd on the drive. You can call now to enter the Sox Ticket Sweepstakes. When you hear that special cue to call, all entries carry over throughout the sweepstakes, so if you've already entered, you are all good. 992-9029. We'll be back with more Morning Roast after this.
welcome back to the Morning Roast. Continuing to try and get some people off to a Boston Red Sox game, we will go directly to the Heroes Hotline where we find Stacy from Lincoln. Stacy, how are you?
Doing fine, sir. Thank you.
What do you, if you're Chad Tracy, Craig Breslow, what do you do with Trevor Story?
I lead him down the minors.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
It's
I
kind
would
of
do.
like to a person. Everybody, it's like he hasn't done anything to deserve coming back up. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they'll handle it. If you get 4 tickets, who are you bringing with you?
Oh, I'm going to bring my kids.
There you go. All right. Have a great day, Stacy. We thank you for calling and enjoy the rest of this Thursday.
You too.
All right, on to Matt from Ellsworth. Matt, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Okay, what are you doing with Trevor Story?
No roster spots available, but he'd be a great clubhouse guy, helping out the young guys, teaching them a few tricks. But there's no roster spot, then he's going to stay where he is.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll. Where will they wait? Where they wait until the first, where you don't have to send somebody down? It'd be interesting to see what they do. If you get 4 tickets, Matt, who you bringing with you?
Kids. We had a great time last time we were there, so good time.
All right, Matt, we appreciate you. Thank you, and you have a great rest of your day.
All right, thanks. You guys too.
All right, Matt from Ellsworth. There you go. Big drawing is what's the 2nd? So next Wednesday, is that right?
Yeah, school's the first day of school, 31st. Wednesday the 2nd.
Wednesday
It'll be fun.
the 2nd, the big drawing.
And
They'll
then
do that on the
Wednesday
drive.
the 9th, the Patriots and this game that you're going to. This is it's a busy night in sports.
It really is. Okay, I did mention this. Give me this soundbite. This is a little bit longer, but potential value. This guy is a big betting guy, goes by the handle Bear. I don't know his last name, but I recognize him. If you see him, you'd recognize him. I think he do stuff for College Game Day.
Is that the College Game Day guy? Yeah, he did.
Bears picks.
He did my fantasy draft cameo. They give us a cameo, and he reads out our draft order. So he did us this year.
This guy's from College Game Day. He likes the Pats and Drake May.
Completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. Look, the Patriots, they might have a harder schedule, but they're going to win a lot of games. They're favored in a lot of games, it's why I was so back and forth on the Kayshon Boutte trade. I think you're going to have a lot of opportunities where you're up in games, and you're going to have a lot of opportunities where you're just handing the ball off for the fourth quarter. I think we might see Tommy DeVito play, a handful of drives this year when games are completely out of reach just to preserve Drake May. You would have had plenty of spots to feature Kayshon Boutte late in games, but bringing back a guy that you can get snaps for. I was very neutral on that trade, but one of the reasons was I think you're going to have a decent amount of blowouts where you're going to be able to get him in and get him some snaps.
So we'll see. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break here. We got more stuff to talk about there, Tyler.
Yes, we do. We'll talk about Casella's Good Pay, Good People, Good Life. Find your place at thepowerofhardwork.com, and it is almost here. Ticket TV on demand. Ticket TV is almost back. Fall season begins September 3rd. If you missed a game on Ticket TV, no problem. Every game is available on demand at 929theticket.com and on the Ticket app. Like we said, that fall season begins on September 3rd. And connect to the Ticket social media channels, 929 The Ticket on Facebook, 929 The Ticket on Instagram, sports.net.maine on TikTok, and our YouTube page, Sportsnet Maine.
Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Now joining us on the Heroes Hotline, Larry Mahoney from the Bangor Daily. Larry, how are you?
Sully, I'm good. I just got out of the pool. I'm going to head back in after this. But obviously Dolly Parton, late Dolly Parton, such a tragic loss. What an icon. 9 to 5 was a hit that went to number one both on the country and the rock chart, the pop charts. That was from 1980, November 1980. That was one of her 25 number one country hits. Now, one source said that's the most by a female artist. Another one said that ties her with Reba McEntire. And she had 44 top 10 albums on the country charts, which is a record. So, but just classy. I mean, just a really nice person. Has a lot of philanthropic activities. Of course, she had Dollywood and everything. And just it's a real loss because, again, just a nice person, great sense of humor. Just a wonderful human being. And, again, people are saddened by the loss of Dolly Parton. That was 9 to 5 from the movie. 11 Grammys, 3 Emmy Awards she won, and I think she was nominated for an Academy Award. So, remarkable career.
People will be tapping their toes to that one for decades and decades to come. A timeless song. And like you said, just not a negative thing to say about a woman who leaves behind a legacy like that. I do want to get to the topic of Maine football. They open up tonight.
Sure.
So, Larry, I mean, I think here we are in a spot where, and we've talked about this for about a month now, this is a big one for the Black Bears, especially the way the schedule lays out, where they're on the road 4 out of the first 5. There's a couple of toss-up games on the schedule. I think if you want to be a postseason contender, I think this is a W you need tonight against Towson.
Very much so. I was just looking at it. Just did a preview last night at work, and basically, if they win this game and then they go to Elon on September 25th, I believe, if they can win those 2 games, regardless of and they should beat Merrimack, and then again, who knows? Appalachian State and BC, you don't expect wins there, but you never know. But anyway, you start to win if you can start the season with 2 conference wins on the road. That means you have 4 of your last 6 conference games at home. 3 of them are against teams that are ranked below you in the preseason poll. And the other one is the season ender against arch rival New Hampshire, who has a first-year coach. So I mean, yeah, it's good and it's bad. I mean, a first game, can really make your season. In this case, it does, but that's a lot of stress for the first game of the year. But no, it's a winnable game. They have a very good quarterback who is freshman offensive player of the year, and but they replaced a lot of players. They lost most of their receivers. Their number one running back. They're kind of like Maine in that way. I mean, they've got a lot of new faces. Maine, again, what I allude to in the preview is just basically the offensive line. I mean, that is the strength of this team, and that can go a long way to putting a W on the board because you can control the football, keep the ball out of the other team's hands, wear teams down, and again, win the time of possession. And again, with that offensive line, 4 starters back, and a couple other players who took a ton of snaps. So that's going to be the strength of this team. And if they can control the football, Eddie Buehler, first-year starter quarterback, shouldn't have to do much, shouldn't have to throw the ball that much if they can get the running game going. But he's got to throw enough, and he's got to be accurate enough so that teams don't stack the box and try to stop the run. You got to be able to spread the defense out.
What about offensive weapons? What do you expect? Who are the guys that can make a difference for the Black Bears?
Well, Sean Marshall, of course, freshman All-American last year, the running back, and he's gained some more bulk so he can pick up more yards after contact. He also had 21 receptions last year, in addition to being their second leading rusher. And then you've got Daniel Batch, and then, of course, Nick Laughlin, Cape Elizabeth, who's back after playing just 5 games due to a season-ending knee injury. So you got a good stable of running backs, Eli Mahan, Elijah Smalls. You got 2 veteran tight ends. And the wide receiver core is up in the air. I mean, you've got your 2 returning wide receivers have combined for a total of only 13 catches last year. But they brought in a couple transfer, Malik McNeely from Virginia Military, and Concepcion, who's from Concord University in West Virginia. Younger brother, first-round pick, Casey Concepcion, first-round pick of the Browns. So, they're going to be relying on. They've got 11 total receivers, and they're going to have some. They're going to have some. They're going to have some receivers that are going to have to step up for them, and then they're going to have some new receivers emerge. So, I mean, that is the one. That's a question mark. That's a big question mark on offense. Defense. I mean, they only returned 3 players who started the New Hampshire game at the end of last season, the season ender. So, again, a lot of new faces, but they do return 3 defensive ends who played a lot. Jamari Gibson's one of the top corners in the CAA, and Jay Crucera, a safety man. Linebackers, you're going to be relying on some linebackers without a ton of experience, but like I said, I think it's the type of team where they did the defense is going to take time for the defense to mold because they have so many new defenders. But we'll just have to see. Hopefully, they can control the ball on offense, keep their defense fresh, and again, if the defense can limit the explosives, in other words, big gains. Then I think it's a very bright, very optimistic outlook for the Black Bears.
Larry, Maine didn't play Towson last year either, so what can we expect from this game, starting the season on the road, too, on a Thursday night, which is a unusual night, I guess, to start the season for them?
It is. Well, again, first night jitters, too. They're on the road at Towson. It's a 6 o'clock game, thank God, because you don't want to be playing early in the Baltimore heat. But, no, I mean, they're going to have to get pressure on the quarterback. He's very good. And again, if they can control the clock, which again they should be able to. Towson, I think, gave up like 175 rushing yards a game last year, so they weren't real good against the run, and they didn't run the ball very well last year. But their coach in the press conference, the media press conference, said he's excited about his team. He's got some new players. He's got some players that are going to be emerging into more prominent roles, but they have a lot of guys who don't have a lot of experience. So I think it's a team that again, if Maine can limit the explosives, limit the big plays, and control the ball. They should be able to control the ball against this defense. They really should, because again, their defense has a lot of new players that are just learning their system. So I like that matchup. I like Maine's offense against their defense. I think Maine should be able to control the ball, should be able to put up some points. It's just a matter of can the Maine defense limit the explosive plays and maybe force them to turn the ball over once or twice. And they do need to put pressure on the quarterback.
All right, Larry, I don't know what's going to happen here tonight. I'm haunted by that 3-0 Albany game from many moons ago, 10 years ago when Cos was still here, when they opened up and they were the only game in town on was it a Friday or a Thursday night? And it was just such a deflating moment. We got to get, I'm thinking.
Wasn't that a rain game though?
Yeah, you're probably right. I tried.
A mess because no one could move the ball. The turf was a mess, and again, it was grass at that point. I remember that game.
Give me what? 20 carries for Marshall, 100 and something yards, and that's the path to victory.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I do, and no turnovers. And Eddie Bueller, again, Eddie shouldn't have to throw the ball. Eddie Bueller shouldn't have to throw the ball more than 25 times. I mean, but he needs to be effective. And again, he can extend plays with his legs, and that's where we are in this modern day of football is dual threat quarterbacks, and that's always a killer to a defense that does a real good job covering players, but then the quarterback uses his legs to gain 12, 15 yards, and Bueller has said, he's more than willing to do that to move the chains for the Black Bears.
All right, Larry, we can't wait to see. And the game, I should also mention, Flow Sports struck a deal with CAA and Prime, so the game was actually going to be on Prime Video tonight. So anybody who's got Amazon is going to be able to watch the game. But of course, you got to listen to with Rich and Bob right here on 99 The Ticket. But Larry, we appreciate you.
Make up your mind. I mean, you want people listening or watching?
Well, so what you do is you time it up.
You just screwed your radio people over.
I get paid the same no matter what, Larry. All right, I appreciate you though. So, but yeah, you can't listen to Rich and Bob. You can't beat them on the call.
Oh yeah. Here we go. The top shuffle trying to talk his way out of it.
All right, we got to cut Larry off here. Larry, you have a great day. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, back with our takeaways right after this. All right, welcome back to the Morning Roast. You got one heck of a day today on the drive. You got Jim and Mark. It's 2-a-days with Jack Hirsch, the new Bangor football coach. They're talking to Jude Killey from Towson. And then Rich and Bob will join the show for the final 5 minutes before they take over at 5:30, before the Maine football team opens up at 6 o'clock against Towson. So what a day indeed. Thank you to Mark Shields from MDI and Larry Mahoney from the BDN for joining us on the Heroes Hotline. Tyler, what are you leaving with today?
Football season. It begins tonight. I'm very excited for that. Very excited to just say those words. But I'm going to go back to my ticket and the 6 o'clock hour. Like, you got to pay Christian Gonzalez. You can't keep messing around with this. This guy's too important. And, you've already had a great offseason. Let's finish it strong.
Marcus?
Football will be worldwide very soon. I think Mexico makes the most sense. But, I mean, like, Sean Payton played in not Boston. He played in London way back in the day. So there's been an appetite for it. The people love gridiron football. Let's give it to them.
I think if you got to go across the seas, they got to change the name, the logo. It would be INFL.
Oh,
it's not the right. It's not just in that. Info. Yeah, it'd be the info or something like you got to do a lot of. There's your money. It's going to cost a lot of money to do that. Put the I in the logo.
I look at the Maine football schedule. I see 3 losses, the 2 up games, and then probably Rhode Island. But even that's a maybe. But I see 4 wins: Merrimack, Sacred Heart, Bryant, Campbell, and then I see 4 games that are question marks, toss-ups. And I think if you want to be a playoff team, you got to make those toss-ups W's, not L's. This is the first night, so let's go get a win against Towson. Again, good luck to the Black Bears. That does it for us. We'd love to talk to you about it tomorrow morning, but we're soft. It's the summer. We're taking another day off. We'll be back on Monday at 6 a.m. Have a great day.